Good morning, good morning. Good morning, fellow humans. And how do I spell that? Right, Huemonds, colorful nuts. And I think that's a good way to look at ourselves. So today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. Here we are at Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help our students and other interested people on their journey through this life, where our transcendent soul is traveling through this life. Good morning, Diana. How are things in Portland today? Things better? Well, yesterday was a very busy day for me, but more importantly, the theme of today, the meme of today is choose wisely. Choose wisely. That was a term I heard in California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation about, 15 years ago? So, bum. Right. Choose wisely. That's our theme of today. Bitter cold. Is it better cold or bitter cold? Buenos dias, what not a bevy, and let me guess, it's bitter cold where you are. Is it bitter cold or better cold? Bitter. Betty Baker bought some butter, but said she, this butter is bitter. It's blessed cold. Is it blessed cold or blast cold? Is it on blast? Is the cold there on blast? Right. Okay, so yesterday was a busy day for me. How was it for you people? In our thing of from Jerry Maguire, it's good to be alive. Right. But if we do have transcendent souls and we did pursue the right path, it's better to be at the next stage, the next stop on this tour. My interview went well and I got a 4.5 on a score where we were shooting for a 4. Good. 4.5 out of what? 5? Okay, whatever. Good. Congratulations. So choose wisely. Choose wisely. We often don't choose wisely. What do? We choose not wisely. Right. Okay. So what not a bevy, responding to your heart. Here are the envelopes and the paper. The paper. For the next stage of the game, because the game is afoot. What? Who said the game is afoot? So now I have to do the AI top stuff. But I hope to be leaving today for parts more cold, like 4 degrees, 5, 10 degrees. I'm going to Goldfield and then to Tonopah. First, I need some coffee. So you can't go to Tonopah, can't go to Goldfield without coffee. That's what my grandpappy used to say. Okay, choose wisely. What do we mainly do? Not choose wisely. We don't pause and think. We're like the little mouse that there's some cheese out there and it's, oh, good, somebody left some cheese. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get that cheese. Right? Where is Charlink? Charlink is in Goldfield. Good point. Maybe I should suggest that she come by. Come by and say, hi, how do? Maybe. So, okay, yesterday we had our monthly luncheon for our orphans and widows. That was good. Then it turned out there was a surprise lunch at Carmelo's. Not Carmelo's, at Dad's, not Mom's. That was a surprise. It takes the cheese to catch the cat. To catch the cat. Why? Because the mouse had the cheese? Okay, so then I went to Dad's. Had gave them, I think, a little surprise that I showed up because they were having a pre-opening, inviting some friends or whatever. And since we were down the street, I wanted to do the right thing, go by, say hello, had some time to kill, and then, so we went there as they're kind of working things out, getting the recipes down, getting the techniques down. Right. And then I had my weekly coaching call, which I was surprised about. And then I had my class from 6 to 9. So it was a long day. The class was good. And so it was a busy day. Today's going to be a busy day. Hopefully leaving at 8:30, heading to Goldfield. And then Tonopah with Pastor Andy from the Lutheran Church, my hedge of protection. So, boom. But who cares about that? Let's get on with our thing of today. How do we help people move forward? So question to Diana and Whatnot Bevy. How do we help people move forward through this transcendent life? What's one way? What's one way we help people move forward? Hope, okay. Awakening, true. A four-legged table, true. And where do we talk about the four-legged table? On the podcast, right? So we help people move forward through the podcast and the what? Bong, 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 bong. Put out some cheese. No, we don't put out the cheese. We help people, the worksheet, right? So the practical, pragmatic, tangible thing. Well, what do you do to help people? Well, I can say we give them hope. We do awakening. We do this. We do it through what? We do it through the podcast, and we do it through the worksheet. That's the things we do that's different and unique. The podcast and the worksheet. The worksheet is where the magic is. The podcast is the boots on the ground, elbows up to your elbows in the muck of existence, showing up, actually doing something. Because the worksheet is just a thing. It's not even a thing. It's pixels on the screen, unless you print it. It's not even anything real or tangible. You can't even touch the worksheet unless you print it. However, the podcast is action. It's doing things. It's a whole bunch of steps to get to this. In fact, if we thought of how many steps that we needed to do it, turn on the computer, log in, get to the internet, do the thing, get on the podcast at a particular time. A lot of steps involved, a lot of reliance upon other people, like the internet has to work, the power has to work, the batteries have to work in your keyboard or your mouse. A lot of things have to come together to make it happen, which we take for granted. So, you give them your favorite cheese. We're not talking about cheese, Diana. We're not talking about cheese, because next it's going to be, well, is it cottage cheese? White cheese, yellow cheese, French cheese, etc., etc. You give them their favorite food. Well, I think we help people have the discipline to have the food they need to have to get the results they need to get. And it ultimately comes down to choosing wisely is today's meme. Choose wisely. Because there are consequences. There's a ripple effect. And down below in the worksheet, I'm going to put in red letter now, I did. Jordan Peterson saying, nobody ever gets away with anything. You might think you do, but this fabric of reality, you might twist the fabric of reality, but at some point it's going to twist back. Nobody gets away with anything. You might think you do, but a couple years later, something's going to come along and wallop you. And then when you start focusing, deconstructing that, where did that come from? Oh, well, before that was this. Okay, before that was this. And then was this. And you work back to, aha, that's the thing. So Jordan Peterson today is very much on, nobody gets away with anything. You might think you do, but all you've done is stretch the fabric of reality. And at some point in time, it's going to go back. And whammo, natto goodo. Okay. Put out some cheese, more cheese. I'm just looking at the comments. Cheese, karma, right. So you could say that's karma. Good, bad, and none escapes the law. Okay, I think Jordan Peterson would be consistent. I have never got away with anything. Why should anyone else? Well, just because something doesn't happen to you or to me, it doesn't mean it shouldn't happen to someone else. I would say if you always do bad things, the best thing that could happen is probably not to get away with anything. That would have the tendency to get you to have an attitude of, well, I'm not going to do that anymore, versus somebody who's always doing the right thing might be given a little bit of grace to once in a while become human. Right. Become human. Next, what else we have on our hit parade, on our thing? Because time is racing. Darren Hardy's red letter, that's the choose your choices that determine our fate. So it's like two roads diverged in a yellow wood. And be one traveler, long I stood, looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and perhaps because it was wanting where. ... I really like the line, and in leaves no step had trodden black. Yes. Okay, so, advice from an 80-year-old, be a good winner. We asked this question last month. What not a bevy? Why is it good to be a good winner? These fools are getting what they deserve. Well, so if I deconstructed that, Diana, when you think of other people as fools, there's a us, them, there's me and them. I'm this, they're that. They are doing this to me. They are in my way, etc. So that's going against part of the categorical imperative of respect for others. You cannot think of people as objects to be who are in your way or you need to move around. Let's see, people will want to play with you. Right, be a good winner because what? People will want to play with you. right? And what I usually say, to give an example of being a winner where people won't want to play with you, the answer is, if I win and say, in your face, you want to play again? In your face, I'll destroy you. You suck. Probably not going to want to play with me again. And if I don't need, if there's plenty of people to play with, then I don't really care. But that's not the best strategy. 1537 in, choose wisely. And so what are we getting out of that? So from the Jordan Peterson, it would be choose wisely, because if you choose to do things that manipulate other people, you're stretching the fabric of reality, and at some point it's going to stretch back. And that could be, you could label that as karma. You could label it as your just desserts, your comeuppance. Let's see, what else? Okay, Seth Godin. What is that? Honesty about better. I don't want to learn to be better. It's something we rarely admit. We don't say, I don't want to learn statistics, even though it will dramatically improve my decision making. I don't want to learn a new programming language, even though it will get me a better job. I don't want to learn methods for creativity, strategy, or marketing, even though they'll help me get unstuck. I don't want to learn how AI will transform my work, even though it will make me more productive. I don't want to learn how to use the shortcuts on my apps, even though it will save me time. I don't want to learn basic selling skills, even though they'll help me make a difference. I don't want to understand what happened decades ago, even though it will help me to be a better citizen. All these things and many more are now easily learned for free online with no peer pressure. But we hesitate. We hesitate because learning requires effort. Once we learn something, we might have to change our mind. Oh no. Changing our mind shifts how we see the world, and that can be unsettling. Change feels risky. There are countless things I'd like to learn, but if I'm being honest, my problem is I don't care enough to do the work. The most difficult part of adult learning is choosing to learn. And there's a TED Talk for Seth Godin in 2014, 11 years ago. I have to watch that. So that's a good one. Let's see if I can share. Let's see what's going to happen here, because I can maybe send it to Whatnot About It. Copy. Righto. Bonk. Okay, so Whatnot Baby, I think you should reach out to Diana today. She might have some ideas where you can get some things done. Okay, so we are way over time. Not everyone just fools. That is my point. I choose to do the right thing. They made the wrong choice. That's the fools I'm talking about. Maybe they will win if they made better choices. Right. Okay, so maybe today try an experiment to not see it as me and them, us and them, me, you. Try seeing it as us, we. We're in this together. Not I'm out here on my own fighting off the savages. We're all try thinking about it that way. Okay, time is racing. Gotta go, people. Be safe. If you can't be